Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video where today we are going to be diving into some of the recent Diablo 4 announcements. Now, one thing that I want to touch on real quickly is that character customization is looking pretty deep in this game. One example of this is that we can move buffs from certain items onto other items. As a result, if there's two different pair of leggings that have really good abilities for my build, I can wear one of them and I can actually transfer the ability of the other one onto a different slot of gear. In addition to that, there is a pretty comprehensive looking skill tree. Now, in theory, I think that this sounds great, but I want to talk about some of the issues that may arise based on the information we've been given so far. Now, one thing is, despite all of this customization that's available, every single ARPG has always had builds that are the best to play for your class. So even if we have all of these customization options and all of these theory crafting options, generally speaking, I think that most players are going to just default to the best build. Rod Ferguson had mentioned that two players could be playing the same class, but they're going to be completely different from one another. Now, I don't think that this is actually something that's uncommon in action RPGs. For example, let's compare the Z Barb to the Whirlwind Barb. There's massive differences between those two characters. But it sounds like what they're saying is that even though two people in Diablo 4 might be playing a Whirlwind Barbarian specifically, they could actually be playing really different variations of it. One thing this makes me wonder, though, is one player just going to be using the right build or a better build, and the other player is just going to be using some bad variation of the build? Balancing all of these different skill choices when they are making the game incredibly comprehensive with where you can go with your character, it seems like actually getting good balance in the game is going to be really difficult. But one massive concern that I have is the discussions around the respecking system in this game. Rod Ferguson had noted in an interview that the cost to respec your character in this game is going to be pretty substantial. They even went as far as to say that you may be better off just making a brand new character if you want to respec or change your build for a certain class. In my opinion, this actively discourages theory crafting. There's been so much discussion around theory crafting and how great the game is going to be for that because there's just so many different options. The problem is that if the cost to respec is so substantial, I believe that most people are probably going to want to play it safe. They're going to look up a build online to know with certainty that the character that they're making is going to be good. Otherwise, if a player just dives into the game and starts putting skill points wherever they kind of see fit for what they're trying to go for, there's no guarantee that that's actually even going to be viable in the end game. So let's say that you put 10 hours into your character. If you made the wrong skill choices and the cost to respec is so substantial that it just encourages you to make a new character, when that new character is made, there is a very, very high probability that that player is probably just going to look up a meta build at that point. Having to start over after you've invested a substantial amount of time into one character is going to really discourage theory crafting. People are just going to want to play it safe. It's pretty unlikely that players are just going to want to keep starting over and trying something new that's random and just constantly playing through the campaign and leveling their character, as opposed to actually getting into the end game. Maybe for some more casual players, they don't mind that, but personally, I find it pretty detrimental. But there are some things that we don't know about this game yet. For example, what else is gold going to be used for? If we think about Diablo 3, gold is in such abundance that it basically has no value. Yes, I understand that you can empower your rifts and you can repair your gear with it, but by the end of the season, most players have so much gold that they don't even know what to do with it. If Diablo 4 is similar, and the cost is to in fact use gold to respec, then maybe it won't be as bad as they're saying. However, if gold holds substantial value in the game and you really need to have gold to progress your character, then I understand why it could be really harmful to have to start all over because you can't even afford the respec, because if you do it, your character is just going to be so restricted moving forward. We'll definitely dive into this discussion a bit deeper when we have more details about exactly what gold is going to be used for, how much we're going to get in a day, and how much does everything cost. If I get enough gold to respec every 3 days, I'd probably be okay with that. However, if it's going to take a substantial amount of grinding, several weeks, I think that that is just so discouraging to theory crafting, which is what the game is supposed to be about with the massive amount of customization that they're adding. But ultimately, I'm going to try to hold my judgments on this until the game actually comes out and we can test it. In the meantime, please drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. Do you think that this is going to be detrimental to the game in theory crafting? Or perhaps you might think that it's really nice to be committed to one kind of build and really get that character identity established. I absolutely understand that there can be different perspectives on this, and I'd love to know what you're thinking. I read and respond to most comments, so say something down below. It'd be nice to get some different perspectives on what we know so far about Diablo 4. As always, folks, I truly appreciate you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.